I did do some other things that I addressed that are on the Trello. Um, when I had the other beta testers this month playing the game, I had some who pulled out an Amazon Kindle Fire, and the HUD was not populating correctly. It wasn't sizing right, which made it so it was difficult for them to be able to use the dialogue trees. So what I did, and I may still have to adjust some more, but I changed the HUD so that pretty much any of those HUD pieces, they are movable. And I also addressed for them to be the dialogue to have a scroll pane. Um, and so both of them have now a scroll pane, which makes it so that it does resize to fit better. So they still have options, being a much lower resolution on the screen. Um, so that seemed to help. I'm going to have them test some more to see if that works. But yeah, basically, I can show. So allowing it to be movable, I can just check it as true. I could also check for it to be resizable, which I did, so that they can actually click and drag and move it to a different location if it's in their way. Um, and then I added those scroll panes into the conversation UI. Conversation UI. So instead of just the dialogue text like how it was wrapping, that is now inside of another scroll pane that does have scroll bars on the right side. So it will allow, I have it so it's not over scrolling, so it will resize for the size of the UI based off the screen, not based off the text. So that should help other people who have different size issues. And then, uh, like what I was saying before, I scaled everything in meters, uh, which I was checking, and it's making the viewport fit viewport work a little bit better on sizing correctly for different screens. I still have basically straight up pixels for the loading screen and for the main menu screen. So on some devices, the loading screen may not size exact. Um, so, and I can show that time. So this is a Nexus 9. Um, the beta testers to further test the UI and to test the dragon, since I made some of the changes that they suggested and stuff that they found. Uh, that's going to have to get addressed before I have the beta testers go through again. So I might have to push off the beta testers, doing another round this month to next month. My son was the only one who got to the dragon. He said it was a little bit easy uh, to fight it, which isn't really so much of an issue. Um, but that also meant that I did make a little bit of changes on the. Are you kidding me? Let me click on it. I made some other changes on the fireballs so they're firing a little bit faster. I'll do something like this. Sweet. stop it and start opening. This is a tablet with, I think, 8 or 9 inches. I think it's 8.43. All right, there we go. Okay, so these are all movable. There we go. And they're resizable too, so I can drag them out. So fun to do on a computer. So they can move it kind of out of their way. If we go in and do some type of dialogue. This is also removable. I don't know, it's not really showing it because there's a bar that shows up when this needs to resize, and they're able to scroll down on this because there's less space that's needed and still be able to access the questions. Guess I could try a different. Let's do. I don't think I didn't set this with the skin around it, but this Kindle Fire size with the resolution. But it's going to take a little bit to load it. Oh no. Wow. The pixel conversion, when I am doing the code walkthroughs, I will be doing it without the pixel conversion, but I may end up regressing to the version that I uploaded last, as those issues are pretty frustrating if I can't end up figuring out what is the issues. I don't think it's because of the conversions, but it just started doing it. It seems to do it less after I rebuild, so I'm going to end up having to play to see if it still does that more. Well, my computer is just freaking out, so I'm just going to stop the video. I'm not going to be able to, I guess, do it right now. At least pause it. Okay, so yeah, it's a much smaller size. much less real estate to play around with. Okay, so before you wouldn't even see this, but now they can scroll, and they can scroll for answering. So that gets them into the game. I may end up in the future redesigning the HUD so it's a little bit more responsive for the screen size. It's still basically kind of based off of pixels, and may convert it down so that they are a little bit more responsive for the sizes. This, like the swords, those are fixed shapes, but I could end up sizing those and having them, depending on the screen resolution, be a certain size so that all of this would fit more. So let's go into another conversation. I guess one of the times when I won't do that. So I can scroll. I can scroll my questions. All right. Oh, the other issue, Dargon is the name of the dragon. So the end screen, when that's generated, that's actually how it's supposed to be.